Webinars, episode 2 of season 3 of the NC Web Dev weekly webinars that we're trying to do. And first season, it was mostly about me and talking. And since season 2, I started having guests because I think it gets into a more livelier conversation and it doesn't get as boring. And we get some information from across the globe. And today we have Dejan Krivec. He's from Slovenia, and he specializes in paid ads, Facebook and social media paid ads as well as PPCs for websites. And he specializes in paid ads on Facebook and LinkedIn mainly. And he just put out a book because he's transitioning into getting everything fully automated and also getting more personal. That means you automate the leads and then you just talk with them and become better friends and referral partners, etc. So that's what the guide basically talks about. But since I didn't write it, I'm gonna let him speak about it a little bit more. So welcome, Dan.
Hey,
Good
welcome.
afternoon to
Thank you
you.
for having. Good afternoon. It's 4 p.m. here in Europe. Thank you for having me, Carl. Yeah, like you said, I'm specialized for mostly for Meta ads, and also, of course, for Google ads. But after all these years, I realized then when you get a lead, the real work just started. It's not finished yet because it's important what you're doing with this lead after you get it and before this lead became your client. Here is the huge gap in between. Like you probably know, some clients got new website and they think now they have let's say they have a system working for them, but basically they just start working on these, let's say, bigger things. You need traffic, you need conversions, you need everything about this. So I realized that most companies have a problem when they got a lead. They, let's say, send just one offer and that's it, and they forgot for these lead for the, let's say, next year or forever. But it's much better for you that you set up automated system who will work. Let's say this lead nurturing for you. When you got a lead, you send him this email. You try to put him one step further to let's say your main offer.
Okay. So and I mean, yeah. How long have you been doing the paid advertisements?
Oh, it was 2010, so 15
So
years.
it's been a while. You got some
Yeah,
experience.
it's yeah, I have some experience, but also, it's much different workflow than it was 15 years ago.
And that's what I'm getting to.
Yeah,
It's evolved.
15
That's
years
all.
ago 15 years ago, you just put an ad outside and everything works with no optimization, with no tracking, without anything, because clicks was clicks were point one or $0.2. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah. That
much
was
difference now. Yeah.
it was easy and your ad didn't have to stand out as much.
Yeah, even
You were
if
just
your
out
process
there.
was not yeah, even if your process was not optimized, you're doing well. But now
Yeah, I remember I started that in 2006 as well. So
yeah. But now, let's say when clicks are $2 or even $3 or $4, it's much different. You need to know what you're
and you
doing
want,
with these clicks.
yeah, because you're gonna spend quite a chunk of money, and then you don't want to be losing them.
Yeah, for just, let's say, window lookers, I'd say. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just looking.
Well, yeah, exactly. You want it to target it because if you're spending that kind of money, I mean, then your acquisition cost per each customer kind of starts getting higher and higher. So you want to be able to convert.
Yeah, here's one fun fact as well. When someone asked, let's say, for the cheapest prices possible for leads, so the cheapest cost per leads as possible. My response is always, you don't want this cheapest cost per leads, because we can do this, but this customer will not be your customer. These leads will not be your customer, because we can say, let's say, I don't know, free gas, or I don't know, free something for free, which is really desirable. But if this is not your clients, at the end of the day, it's money throwing through the window. Doesn't matter how much this leads costs.
As I always say, free things in life are the most
Yeah,
expensive.
for sure. And if something is free, you are the product. It's
You're
also
the product, and then and it costs you a lot of, if nothing else, than time, because you want to then get out of it, or then you get, and a lot of these people, they get, and hear this all the time, is they buy these leads lists for,
yeah,
I don't know, five hundred
yeah,
dollars, $1,000, and they get 5,000, 20,000, 100,000 for like $1,000. They'll buy like $100,000 email list.
mhm,
So, and then you spend all this time setting it up, and then you spend all this time going through the process and having them through the sort of sending them through the funnel or the email process. And at the end of the day, you get nothing out of it, and so you basically spent. Not only did you get very cheap leads for $1,000, you get 100,000 leads, but then you had to spend a couple of days on setting up everything, the
mhm.
campaign, for just nothing. So just time wasted and money. Could just throw that money out the window.
Yeah, and your, let's say, delivery rate is half, if it is. And also, it's not good for your domain if you are sending from your own domain, because um, if you have a lot of bounces, it harms your domain. So it's not good in any way. Then you're sending emails to this, let's say, bot list. And like you said, no one have idea who you are, what are you sending, what are you offering, and probably 99% of this receiver will send you to spam list.
Oh, absolutely. And even if you use like Mailchimp, which is like a mail out server and stuff, you still destroy that
Yeah.
reputation of that whatever email you're using. So it's not that you're going to destroy your domain, but you're going to destroy your just account that you're sending out of. And
Some
even Mailchimp will have problems with it.
Yeah, some of these providers I know, for MailerLite, it's some euro based, like Mailchimp, but different provider. If you have, I think it's 1% bounce rate, they will block your account and you can't get it back. It's
Yeah,
over for you there. So
yeah,
you need to be really
yeah,
careful with this, sharing email lists.
yeah. I mean, that's why you need to generate one on your own, and then again, do it for free. It's useless. I mean, a lot of people want that, but then they'll complain to you, is like, "Oh, you got me this email list, but I got no business from it." Well, I told you so.
Yeah, it's also, I'm not a big fan of the huge email list, because you can have 100K emails, but if nobody is buying from you, it's useless. But on the other hand, you can have, let's say, 1K uh, list, and you got a sale from every email. It's much better. So this is also
Yeah,
important. Why you need not just hot leads, but also hot leads with money, with willing to pay what you're offering.
that's why, and that goes, but that ties back into the targeted ads on Facebook and LinkedIn and everything else, because I mean, you have so many parameters that you set up. I was even talking to Mark last week about it. I says that's something that I'm completely out of now, because I'm focusing just on the web design stuff.
Mhm.
But to implement these strategies and just to get a whole campaign set up, I mean, how many indicators, how many parameters do you have to set up in order to set up the campaign?
Yeah, basically in Meta you have everything, um, they are trying to put everything on their automated process, but it's not always the best option. They can bring you leads, but if you are make some changes, make some tweaks, you can get better results from this process. So again,
Yeah, but how many parameters? How many parameters do you have to set up? Like when you go into it manually, how many like do you set up for every campaign?
oh, let's say at least 10 from my head. You have you have location, you have so targeting options, then you have text, you have call to actions, creatives, images. Then you have images for desktops, images for mobiles. So it's, let's say, at least 10, if not more.
So you just so you just but you just named basically 10,
Yeah.
and you didn't name everything.
I did probably I didn't mention everything. Yeah.
So that's what I'm talking about. It's kind of like when you get into it, and then all of a sudden you got to set up like probably good. I would say 50
Yeah.
parameters easily. I mean, some of them maybe are like basically just default, but if you want to really target
Yeah.
into what you're looking into, is and then optimizing the images, optimizing the text, and everything is just gonna
But
be perfect.
before this is the most important part. You need to tracking. You need to track basically everything you can. So if you don't have, let's say, events, if you don't have conversions, you're tracking your basically all your ads are, let's say, almost useless because you can't focus, you can't optimize ads to get to these conversions. But you can just, what can you do is traffic if you don't have, let's say, events and conversions set up on your on the pixel itself. So
Yeah,
before you're
and
starting,
that's the backside of
yeah,
it. Yeah,
before you're starting with ads, you need to set up tracking.
on a website or
Yeah,
someplace else in your
yeah,
CRM or
yeah,
whatever it is. Yeah, which is another whole set of parameters. That's why, and I said no.
yeah.
I'll stick with web design. You tell me where I got to put where,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna be good.
Yeah, because someone someone said to me, "Okay, I have new webpage. Can you please do ads for me?" Sorry, I can't because you first we need to set up this.
Yeah,
Then we can start
and that's
ads.
what I.
Yeah.
That's a big topic of conversation with many clients. Is like, yes, okay, so you have a Wix website, but you got to put in this stuff before you can run the ads and plug them into it and make it automated because and then there's a lot of work that goes into just prepping the receiver, which for example it would be the website, just to get the results and the tracking
Mhm.
from that. It's just sharing a link and paid ads and sending it to a website. Yeah, that's good, but how do you know?
Yeah,
And without the
we can
tracking,
optimize for clicks. That's all we can do with just links
yeah.
without code. I'm not familiar with Wix, but I was
Then
working. Yeah, I was working with Shopify. When you need to, I'm not. I'm also not really familiar with Shopify, but I was doing ads for Shopify store. So, like, I know you have some kind of issues there because you need to pay for apps. So again, you can put just regular pixel on the site, but if you want to track, let's say, purchases and every step, add to carts, then you need in haste app, but you need to pay for this. But it's not everyone willing to pay this, and that's a problem. If you want to run ads, if you want to optimize it, you need to track every step of the purchase process.
Yeah, and that's a big misconception among people and among many businesses that well, we bought a website, so it does everything.
Mhm. No.
No, no, you have a website. That's it. It's
you
kind of
are
like a
you are
blank piece
you
of
are in
paper
the
with a picture
starting
on it.
line now.
It's like, how much is a website? I'm like, well, $5,000. Like, no, I could get one for
uh,
$200. I'm like,
let's do it.
go and get it.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Because then Shopify will kill you on these other things. So that's the trick of all these Webflow, not Webflow, the I forget, but Wix and
Mhm.
Shopify and all these places is they'll give you the $50 website, but then you're like,
Yeah.
yeah, let me do a lead generation system. It's like, oh, okay, that's another $200 a
Mhm.
month.
Yeah. But then we like advertisers have problem because they said we have everything. Yeah, no, you don't have everything. You have just basic
You just
website.
have a
Yeah,
website. It's a,
like
it's a domain, and you have your homepage and your contacts, and that's it.
it's like WordPress with some free template. You can do basically anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then the same thing is like everybody's like, oh, WordPress is free. Why does it cost so much? Well, because you got to put in the back end of
Mhm.
it that nobody sees, but you as a business owner then profit from that. That's where your money comes from. It's from the back end, not just the
Mhm.
face. Just to have a picture of a restaurant or a car shop, that's not what sells. What sells is the stuff inside that you got, and all these little tag setups, and optimize the pages properly, and have the databases ready to receive the data that you're gonna on performance of the campaign. Because I mean, then you could run a campaign, but when you don't have the results, you can't track really. It's sort of hard to see the ROI on that
Mhm.
campaign, and so it's
Yeah.
not good for either side because the customer doesn't get his money's worth, and you don't even know what you really got from what you how much you made for that customer. Of course, you get some basics from the platforms like Facebook, and but that's not enough, of
Yeah.
course, because it's only goes so far the data.
The most important metric is lifetime value. It's period. But on the other side, you need to track something on the ad level, but you can't track lifetime value because you have no idea how much money some client will bring you, let's say in the next year. So this is why cost per lead is important because it's the metric you can track it on the ad level. Then you have, let's say, then but also if you know that your, let's say, average lifetime value it's 10x than first purchases, then you know you can go below the zero with, let's say, cost per lead. But you are always trying to make profit also in the first step, for sure. It's a business.
Yeah, but and again, sometimes they get it's the same thing in the web
Yeah.
design is okay. Either you could get a cheap website and pay for it later, or you could just spend the money
Mhm.
initially and then save yourself some money down the
Yeah,
line.
sure.
I mean, because if you're looking to build a business and it's with the leads, the acquisition of the lead is one thing,
Mhm.
and then the process of working with the lead and like you said, the lifetime value, and that's something that an ad will never measure.
Yeah, this is also what I'm doing now with self-liquidated funnels. So you set up a funnel, let's say just a simple funnel with 3 or 4 steps. We have main offer, we have maybe order bump, and we have upsell one and maybe upsell two. So I'm trying to, let's say, to get a credit card for this client as soon as possible. For the, let's say, for $7, 17 or $27 doesn't matter, but I'm trying to cover all these, let's say, traffic costs from ads with this micro funnel. And what I get from this funnel is very, very hot leads. I'm not dealing anymore with, let's say, I'm interesting in your service, but I'm dealing with the clients who already purchased something from me. So it's total different approach. It's much higher conversion rate at the end of the funnel, and it's doing well basically.
Yeah, and question about your guide. What led you to write it? What was your motivation, other than, of course,
lead
lead
magnet,
magnet?
lead magnet for my offer. Honestly,
That was the number
yeah,
one.
yeah,
All right, that's fair.
yeah.
I thought maybe you wanted to put something out there with some technical stuff that changed in
No,
the
basically
process now
not
lately. So
technical stuff.
like a market update,
Yeah,
sort of.
but let's say some clarification that we need to know that we don't need to work with cold clients all the time. We don't need to, let's say, hustle in social media, hustle in cold emails, everything. If we put, like we were talking about website before, if you put this funnel together, it will cost you some time, it will cost you some money, but you will have a system. So let's say now when you get a lead, you need to call. You're calling, you're sending emails, let's say it's automation emails and everything. But if you put this lead in top of your funnel, when they need to pull some credit card, it's much more likely they will buy your high end product than if they are just looking, let's say, your guide, for example. This my guide is it's just starting point for all the funnel behind.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, no. Well, I agree. I mean that's why I said like
Yeah, but
besides
in
that, was
this
there any
but in this let's say in this guide, I'm just trying to, let's say, to open this mind that you there are different paths and you can choose a little bit easier one.
yeah, no. So you do lay out a couple of options and stuff and what's going on in the sales process.
Yeah,
Basically, that's
yeah,
what you talk about.
sure.
Yeah, because it is not easy to just go out there and get leads. And I've been having a lot of meetings lately and stuff, and I see a lot of the automation and sending out, and LinkedIn being a great platform for B2B, uh, for B2B connecting and networking. But I'm starting to see that also the engagement here is not as much as it used to be, and
Mhm.
it's much more diversified in other places. Like for example, YouTube. Do you do anything? Do you work with YouTube, by the
No,
way?
no.
Not at all. You don't do anything on
I'm
YouTube
just
for advertisements and stuff.
I'm just asking some let's say young Indian guy how to how to
Okay,
set up this to
because
do this.
that's something that I'm looking into starting now. Is I'm doing a YouTube channel, the NC Web Dev YouTube channel, and just starting to post some YouTube shorts and stuff. But I'm looking into setting these sales funnels or sort of a something. Not only sales, but even maybe paid advertisement might be interesting. I don't know. I didn't look at the conversions on that yet. So I'm asking whether you have any experience with it. But it's got the same system. It's a social media platform like any other. But the thing is on YouTube, if you know how to do it, you get a lot more
Mhm.
impressions than probably any other platform, really. I think.
Yeah, but I think it's not just about YouTube, it's about platform itself. This is why I have, let's say, YouTube, Threads, X, also TikTok, just on my to-do list when I will have some more time. Because if you
Okay.
go into some platform, you need to know it. You can't just try and put some content, some ads or anything, and let's say pray to the god that will bring you something. You need to dig
Mm.
deeper, you need to do the job, you need to do the hard way, and then it will bring you some results.
Well, before I started doing the YouTube 2 weeks ago now, I think week and a half, 2 weeks ago, something like that. I'm like, no, well, last week, so whatever it is. I I had 15, and I have 1,500 views on one of my shorts of the 8 or whatever I put in there, and the only reason for that is, and that's is what this is to your point, is that I did one with my son YouTube channel for a year and a half,
Yeah, they,
just learning the
uh,
algorithm.
then you know how to do this stuff. Yeah,
And then I start from zero, and on my fifth or sixth try, I get 1,500 views on a short. I'm like, well, because of a year and a half of
yeah.
experience.
It's funny when someone said, "Okay, Facebook advertising doesn't work anymore." It does, it works, but you need to know how to set up everything. It's the same with
Yeah.
YouTube. It works. I'm not saying it's bad. It's good, but you know how to handle it.
Yeah, and you study for a year and a half like I did, and then yeah, you can start a new channel and basically get results much
Yeah.
faster.
But if I
But now I'm looking into ways to maybe do paid advertising and sort of something, I'm looking at other options how to use it because now I know I can get the
Mhm.
views. So now how do you get, to the other
How to
steps and whether
monetize.
maybe even some paid advertising would help.
What about AdSense
So
on this channel? Who-
well, it's not big enough yet. I mean, my channel is just starting. My son's got like 600 followers. I have like 8 right now
Mhm.
after 1 week, but still I was shocked by the fact that okay, I've been on LinkedIn for a while and I have 3,000 connections and the impressions are have been slowly getting lower and stuff or whatever, and LinkedIn is changing and it's a different type of platform, but just putting the same effort into YouTube, I get a lot more exposure,
Yeah.
and but it's still not up to the standard of like really being some kind of an influencer or something. It's just just starting out, but that's why I was thinking whether like maybe paid ads on that would help, whether you can
Mhm.
boost that, because I know there's ways and I know they offer YouTube ads and stuff, but I'm not sure what you know how that would work because I have never done paid ads even on Facebook. I mean, I played with it a little bit, but nothing spectacular. So
You mentioned impressions on LinkedIn. In my experience, it's nosediving right now.
oh yeah,
I got
oh yeah,
much more.
it's definitely,
I got much more impressions 1 year ago with, let's say, 3 4K followers than now. I have almost 7K followers, but my impressions are, let's say, 20% what it was, let's say,
oh
1 or 2 years ago. It's crazy.
yeah. So basically, it doesn't make sense now just to go on LinkedIn and do
Yeah,
what once you used to do, while LinkedIn has a different set of people. And I love
mhm.
it because I could connect with but you got to talk more directly with the people. You can't just post content and just connect with people. You have to just have the content and then you have to go and actively connect with people, not just through. I'm not sure
Yeah,
if it's me or you that's
you
flashing.
yeah, we have you back. You have some issues with connection. Um, LinkedIn, it's not traffic generation generator for me anymore. It's more like, let's say, a reputation builder, and like you said, connection. I met a lot of great people. I met you on LinkedIn, and a lot of other people, but it's not, let's say, free. Basically, it's never free. Also, you need to put content. You need to work on conversation, everything. But LinkedIn, for me, it's not traffic generator anymore. It's
Yeah,
just it's just nice to have, for basically everyone will check you on LinkedIn. And if you have some reputation on LinkedIn, it's much better to start conversation in some other business paths. But to make sales and traffic to my offers, I'm not sure.
yeah. Let me blink here one more time on a switch connection.
Sure.
Yeah, this should be more steady. Anyway, yeah, and so basically LinkedIn today, the way I build LinkedIn now is I post the content, get some engagement, not as much, and I don't connect that much publicly, sort of or publicly on the platform, but I go into Zoom meetings and networking meetings and meet the people
Mhm.
there and connect with those people from the Zoom networking meetings, and so again the platform is great. The audience sort of or the users that are online, it's great. It's great contacts and
Mhm.
connecting and networking. And yes, your profile is your landing page sort of for and your resume, et cetera, et cetera. But once upon a time, you could actually do lots of stuff with the people and talk and engage and talk
Mhm.
more and get more exposure. Today, it's sort of impossible unless you're doing videos. But that's why I said, okay, well, let me start doing videos on YouTube because I know the impressions on YouTube. Because chasing impressions through engagement on LinkedIn is so much work. It's like you have to spend
Yeah,
hours and hours.
but also is question what kind of engagement you get. It's just engagement because of engagement itself, or it's some, let's say, meaningful engagement with, let's say, the real, not the real people, but from the people with you can make business, let's say, in a year or 6 months or
Sort of
some time.
sort of decision makers, you could call it.
Yeah, because like I can see, it's a lot of comments and a lot of likes from the people who just commenting and liking all the posts, but I'm not sure if this is the person, let's say, who will jump in your DM and say, "Hey, man, how are you?" It's how, let's say, to start some conversation
Or business minded. Yeah,
on
yeah, and
top,
I get
or
it. I get
business
it.
on top of it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you could probably, and like I said, you could probably sell some cheaper stuff through it. Like there, I mean, the one I think that, and I'm thinking about doing this now. I think the number one seller on LinkedIn now would be a LinkedIn course on how to do LinkedIn.
Yeah,
You could
probably.
you could sell that pretty well for a couple, just a couple $100 or $100 or whatever you're gonna charge for that. Maybe take that into some focus groups and stuff. But yeah, any other discussion about business outside of that is yeah, you have to take that outside. It's not gonna happen on LinkedIn.
Yeah, how to skyrocket your LinkedIn profile in 1 week with 15 minutes a day.
Yeah, 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 it's sort of.
Probably something like this.
I have a different word for that. It's called utopia.
No, it's not utopia. You just didn't follow every step.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So because right now, I mean, I was talking, I follow Luke Matthews and stuff, and he said a couple of years ago, he says, yeah, basically, I started building LinkedIn, doing it 2 hours a day. For
Mm,
2024, if you want to engage on LinkedIn and really see some results, it's probably more like 4 hours a day you got to spend on
4 hours at least.
it.
At
Yeah,
least.
and I'm like, but I get the same performance from making a video, which takes me an hour, and just post it on YouTube.
Mm.
So price to
Yeah, but
performance ratio.
it takes me, let's say, 2 hours to set up ad campaign, and it brings me leads for the next month probably.
Yeah, and that's the other
But
thing is
but yeah,
you have to.
but here is the kicker. Let's say, uh, with this free, in quotation, free social media, all you need to invest is your money, basically. No, it's not money. It's your time, basically. But in ads, you need to you need to invest time and money. So this is why you need to be careful much more than just with social media, because you're spending money, and you need to know that at least in second step you will get this investment back.
Yeah, no,
Be- because
exactly.
because Zuckerberg wants his money, period.
They all do, and then now, and it's a funny thing with LinkedIn as well, is because LinkedIn has been doing this thing about uh, you have these limits, and you have this, and then oh, you can't use AI. That's the best. That's I think my top thing. That's my top hang up with LinkedIn is the sort of hypocrisy on it. Is while we're talking on LinkedIn as well at this webinar, is a funny thing is they don't let you use any AI stuff and no automations and whatever, but and they want real engagement, which I agree with, and that'd be great if it was real. However, when you
Mhm.
see some of the comments that the people leave you, and when you get the paid version of LinkedIn, gives you their AI to leave those sort of inauthentic fake comments, and I'm like,
Yeah.
you know,
So it's not about AI. It's about it's subscription.
yeah, yeah. Once you sell the subscription, you can use bullshit comments.
Yeah, you,
Oops,
you can
sorry
you
for the
can use
word,
everything. And also, we will give you
but yeah, you could
AI
you could use
tool
useless comments. Yeah, we'll give you a tool. You can't do it normally because it's not inauthentic, but if you pay us, we give you a tool to leave them.
to be authentic.
Yeah, to be our authentic. So it's kind of like you're just shooting yourselves in the foot, people. I mean, just
But today it's, let's say, it's almost normal that you're using AI. But at least in some points you need to sparkle yourself into it.
I call it.
Just tweak a little bit. I also have some prompts to give me some for I have no idea what response if I need to. But I got, let's say, 3 4 ideas, and okay, I will do something in this way.
Yeah, no, I mean, AI is great. I use it. I do the AI carousels to get the stuff out, but it generates something, but then you have to humanize it.
Mhm.
And if you don't humanize it, if you don't work with it, it's like that's why people are like, well, I have, I have this tool, and then I've seen like I don't know what 5 or 6 different tools out there saying, I do all my LinkedIn posts in 1 hour for the whole week. I'm
Mhm.
like, well, sort of
And then you're
post.
looking comments. Great post, fantastic. I like it.
Yeah, I love your perspective on you. It really shows the deep insight of the facts that you are deep diving into the area of boosting your presence in the
Of
digital world in
no
2020. I'm
digital
like,
word, just on this area, so it fits all.
yeah, it shows your content really shows the depth of your knowledge and insight into the field of blah blah blah, whatever you posted, because it just takes the keyword from whatever you posted and it just.
Yeah.
So I'm like, when these people do that and they think that they're getting engagement, and to me it's amazing because LinkedIn does count that as engagement as well, although it's inauthentic and they know it's AI generated, but they still say, "Oh, okay, that's count." And that's how you get that's how you get the boost from the algorithm. That's how you get it to like you more. But a lot of this stuff, it's when you look at the feed, it's everything but authentic.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if they're really booster. Just let me check something. It's almost the same. Yeah, it's about 20 25% lower impression for my today's post, because I didn't have time, so I just put post online. I didn't commenting and all this stuff. I will do it today later, but it's, let's say, just 20% lower impression.
Yeah, I've been not keeping up on my engagement as much either. I do it usually. I get the post and then I comment either throughout the day or I do it in one batch,
Mhm.
like later on when I sit down late at night and I catch up with some of the people. But with the YouTube and stuff, starting that now, I've been really lazy on that because I've been following more to YouTube because you have a new baby that you're working on, so kind of focus more time in
Yeah,
that.
I have weekends for this to catch up everything.
Yeah, I know. That's well, you have other stuff as well. So yeah, but how old you got kids, right? How old?
Yeah, I have two: 16 daughter and 12 son.
12. That's always fun.
So
16 and
it's
12 is
two
fun.
two teens in the house.
A peaceful environment.
Yeah, peaceful. But at least we have two we have two persons who know everything.
Yeah, I only have
So,
one that knows everything, but that's enough. That's all I can
so
handle.
it's crazy, yeah. But
Yeah,
we
so
can.
it's and it's not easy combining that family life and then the business and then
Yeah, I'm working from home. I have my office in the house, so it's a little bit easier from one side, because I'm in the office in, let's say, 1 minute, and vice versa. When I had office in the neighbor city, I needed, let's say, 20 minutes to drive in the one way, and 20 to drive into another way. But now I'm here. But it's also not so good part, because I have my office, my computer always in finger touch. So when I have time, when let's say everyone is on his computers, on phones, I'm just jump quick fix for half an hour, for an hour, 1 hour in the office, and do some things. And we get used to it. Everyone.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm just. I never was an office person. I had an office only for 2 years in my life or something like that, and I was like, I didn't really like it. So I'm just. I'm much rather outside and on the road and stuff and meeting people,
Mhm.
which is something that's becoming harder and harder today. It's kind of like to meet people in person. It's. I would say it's almost impossible.
You have range. What range do you have? 1 hour driving, half an hour, 30 minutes. That's your range basically. One
Yeah,
hour max, I think. Yeah.
yeah. But I'm since I'm on the road a lot. I mean, I don't just travel around the U.S. Still, you get some places and it's hard to connect with people outside of social media. So basically, now it's kind of like you set up meetings on Zoom with people, and then you
Mhm.
meet them in person. Used to be vice versa, like you meet them in person, and
Yeah.
then you use social media to just stay in touch. But here is today, it's more like it flipped.
I like doing business in Zoom. Um, I'm more Zoom or even email guy. Wh- Why the hell Zoom meeting if we can resolve everything into emails? But don't get me wrong, I love to, let's say, connect with people. I love to go to, let's say, to the coffee, to lunch, or anything. But I don't know if you need to have this person to person meeting, you need so much more time to do this.
Yeah, but it's not so much fun to drink rakia and malvasia over Zoom. It's not it. It's not the same thing.
Yeah, true. So, so I need to invite you here in Slovenia and let's drink some Jägermeister.
Ah, man, that's Jägermeister. We always call it cough drops. It's just you take the halls or something or the other ones, but that's what Jägermeister tastes like. No more. Like it straight, clear, nice. Travarica or rakia anytime.
It's too strong for me.
Yes, it's for professional use only, not to be used by amateurs in excess amounts.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's no, but it's that personal touch is I find it hard to I always find it hard to get into it or to put as much as you would in person. That's the whole thing, and that's tying into the lead generation stuff. It's just you generate the leads, but to make them human, it's very hard.
Mhm.
It's a lot harder to do it online. You got to do it right, and it's
Yeah, but also,
it's the challenge of
you're
today.
yeah, you're not alone, from offer perspective. Probably there's a lot of other offers almost the same as you at yours. So it's, I don't know, it's still much harder to, let's say, to offer something or to make a business. It's not 2000 anymore.
Yeah, and also you may have a product or service that's top of the line, but on the screen it looks the same.
Mhm.
Like with the WordPress. There's a guy that will do a WordPress website for $200.
Mhm.
Okay, I could do that too. However, not with my product. My product will take you a couple of days to set up at least, and a couple of people.
Mhm.
But this guy will have it done in 2 hours. But it looks like WordPress. They both act like WordPress. They
Mhm.
do have WordPress on them in the core, but it's just two completely different services. But to the client, it's so hard to differentiate between that type of service and that type of service
Mhm.
because it's just a screen.
I also can put together a website, and I'm using Elementor Pro. And if someone asks me for a web page for $500, I say sorry, I don't do this. I don't do a website for 500.
Yeah,
Why not? Because I know that someone who will try to make marketing on this site will be very angry on me.
Yeah,
So
but
that's all mentality behind this. It's not
yeah,
about uh, that I want more money for the same thing, but I'm not offering the same thing. Because you can also buy a car, brand new car for 10K, but what will you get is different question.
yeah. I think it's the same thing like the when the Chinese are making the BMWs and Mercedes, but they're making them in China. So it appears to be a
I don't know.
car the same way, but
I don't know.
at half the
I'm
price.
I'm let's say I'm Audi lover. I have Audi, so it's better for me to buy 5 years old Audi than let's say new China car,
Then,
new
then a brand new,
Hyundai,
sh- then a
new
brand new
Hyundai
Shanghai,
for example.
then a brand new Shanghai special Audi.
Yeah, I didn't see it
The
yet.
Shanghai, yeah, I know. I've seen some of them. I've seen some of them. Not I don't remember what brands it was, but anyways, you know what I'm talking about. This is the same exact car. It's a Shanghai special Audi. Like,
Here in Slovenia, we just got today. It was on the news. Some new China brand EV cars from today. We got new EV cars from China.
do they run on AA or AAA batteries?
I don't know. I don't like electric cars.
Is it six of those or eight of the bigger ones?
I don't know. I think it's the bigger one.
Because it's that's the whole thing about marketing is kind of like again you say EV and EV, but it's there's the tech behind it, inside of it is so much different, and it's the same thing with advertising, and that's part of the reason why I actually love having these webinars and conversations, because I think that really differentiates as much as like you said you're doing the paid ads and they're good, and that's the challenge that you have. That's the biggest challenge you have probably in there, is to craft it in a way where people understand it's a different product, although it appears to be
Yeah.
the same. I
Mhm.
mean, and it's and this is sort of the best way to show a lot more people, of course, than once upon a time, but that you actually know what you're talking about, sort of, and that you have a different offer than the next guy that will offer quote unquote the same service except for only $2 an hour.
Yeah, but here on social media ads, it's not just about offers. It's also about attention. It's hard to understand for let's say some designers maybe that we don't need beautiful ads. We don't need corporate colors set up perfectly. We don't need one pixel left or right. We need bright color. We need to grab attention from this feed scrolling with finger, let's say on mobile.
Scroll
So
stoppers.
so scroll stoppers. So to be harsh, we need ugly ads. We don't
Yeah,
need beautiful ads,
yeah,
but we need ads which works.
yeah. Because you need to stop the scroll. You don't need to.
And
It's
and I'm
yeah.
in fight with the designers again.
I had this with my programmers as well. They'll tell me the beautiful code. I'm like, I don't care as long as it looks good. Looks good. I don't care how beautiful the code is or ugly even. It's just gotta work.
Needs to work, yeah.
Yeah, and it's the same thing with the designers. Everybody who's in their field sort of sees their own thing as the number one most important. I'm like, no, most important is that
Mhm.
somebody actually stops on it and does what you want it to do.
Yeah.
To put a huge video of your showroom of cars on the front page of your website is completely useless if you don't get that person to click on buy a car.
Mhm. Yeah, true.
It's like, oh no, with this design, this thing, that thing. No, you just need to have a big button there. Say like, here, this is we do cars. Click here and buy.
Yeah, and
Right
but
here.
big
This is where you
red
click. This is what you're.
big red button.
Yeah, this is where you buy our stuff. So it's a combination of those things. But exactly, it's that. While that button looks really, a designer would say that button looks really ugly. Yeah, but it sold 5 cars yesterday,
So
so I don't care what you think.
exactly.
I mean, that's basically what marketing comes down to.
Yeah, we need to sell things.
Yeah, and then and if you don't tell the people directly what you want them to do, and if you don't differentiate your offer from all the other stuff, you have to stand out, and it's a big competition.
Yeah,
It's really huge, and it's getting more and more, and the world is getting smaller and smaller. So and
yeah, and
more
with all
popular.
this globalization and let's say web businesses, it's maybe it's harder. Maybe you have you have, let's say, bigger reach. We are basically not local anymore
No,
for
yeah,
almost any business. At least local businesses like let's say clean company or kindergarten. It's the only local forever. Let's say.
yeah. No, I mean, and still they need to enter this world as well, the local companies, and so but
Yeah.
they could find it, but they can survive on just local stuff, whereas they don't have the local restaurant does not have competition in New York, for
Mm,
example. If you're in California, a restaurant in New York is not your competition. But with web design, with
yeah.
PPCs, with everybody's
We
your
both have.
competition.
Yeah, we both have competitors in China, India, Australia, US, Canada, everywhere in the world
Yeah,
basically.
yeah,
And it's
and
and I when I realized that the cheapest price is not always the game changer, I do huge favor for myself.
without a doubt.
Yeah.
That's why people come to me is like, oh, well, your websites are expensive. I'm like, well, when you come back to me in 3 months, telling me that what you bought didn't work, and I had plenty of those. Like one guy was trying to organize like a whole system for like 200 people to track their sales or whatever else. It wasn't even a website. He was talking about a website. I'm like, no, you're talking about like a whole CRM basically on sales. You just want to
Mhm,
design this thing because you have a.
mhm,
He couldn't use anything like that was out there because he needed to have it programmed just for his like whatever 10,
mhm,
15 different steps. And he says, "Well, I paid this guy for WordPress, and I spent like $5,000, $10,000 on it, and or a couple of thousand, whatever." And he says, it didn't do what it was supposed to. We never got it completed." Took it to my team, and they were like, "You could probably do it on WordPress, but what this kind of thing he needs, it's much easier to start from scratch." And I told him, I says, "Well, you wanted to do what you wanted to do, but the starting price to even like discuss anything is like $50,000."
mhm.
Oh, no, no. I was like, well, I understand how you didn't succeed with the couple of $1,000 project because this just can't work.
Yeah,
So
we
he was
can do
shocked.
everything basically. Yeah, we can do everything, but the price is different.
Yeah, you got to
You
kind
have
of realize, like, yeah, it's people say, how
you
much
have
is a
two
website?
type.
I'm like, well, it could be $1,000, it could be $100,000. It depends on what you want to do.
You have two types of people out there. First, will ask you, can you do it for less money? But the second one will ask you, can you do it faster? So
Yeah,
I want to work with this one because they know what's more important. More important, it's time and to put things to work into business, not building, let's say, a web page for a year. I had also client for a web page. We're building web page almost 2 years because I was waiting for content, for text, for images, for everything. And I got a call. It's not finished yet. It's 1 year. No shit. Check my 5 last emails.
yeah. Basically, it comes down to the clients. But then I've been working with some people, and they say, "Oh no, we already have a website," and I was like, "We have somebody working on it." And it wasn't that hard of a website, so I didn't get the job. But then I was still following that person, seeing how it took him 6 months to get a basic website up, and I'm like,
Yeah.
you
Mhm.
could have had it 6 months ago, but hey, it wasn't that hard. The website, it was just
Yeah.
took a lot of time, and I don't know if it was on the fault of the client or the design company, but still, it took him like 6 months, and I'm like, that's it's not supposed to take that long as there's cooperation on both sides, like because yeah, you can't build a website for somebody if he does unless he supplies you with the right documents and
Yeah.
colors, pictures, or whatever else he wants the website to do. So that's always difficult. And then with the PPC ads, it's the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same thing. I need to know what to say, what to put on ads. I can
Yeah,
make some drafts, but then someone said, "Oh, you can mention this." Then tell me, please. I
give
need
me
to know
these.
what I can put on the ads, what I can, you know.
Yeah, and that's the difference in price. Whether you communicate how much time you got to spend on it and stuff, and and people have it's our job to sort of explain to them the difference between the $200 website job and a 3,000, a 4,000, 5,000. It's just
Yeah.
it's a different.
That everything it's not just two button clicks.
That's most people what they think. Oh yeah, it's that digital stuff. You just click twice and it's done.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
done.
that's
And you
what that's
said invoice for 5K.
yeah. The 2 clicks for 5K. I'd be doing them all day. But it takes a lot of work, and the AI fad, as I call it, like I said, again, AI is great for certain things, but it's a tool. It's not something where you
Mhm.
just go in there twice, click twice, and it's
Yeah.
done. Whether it's website, whether it's text, images, whatever. Whether it's even an analysis of ads. Yeah, it'll analyze a lot more ads and your performance a lot faster, but you still need that human touch.
I have time slots in my calendar just toying with ChatGPT, just to find the best prompts for ads, for text, for call to actions, for everything. I'm feeding it with the old best performers, so just to get
Right.
these steps, frameworks, what works, what doesn't works, and
Yeah. And then
but you
then
need
then
to
you come.
feed it. Yeah, you need to feed it. You need to tweak these prompts. You need to test it.
Yeah, and then you come to somebody and you're like, and the person says, "Well, you just clicked twice, so why is it so much
Yeah,
money?" Was it? Well, because I spent a
yeah.
year analyzing tons
You're
of
you're
data.
using ChatGPT, and then you use it.
Yeah,
You
you
have the
use it,
same
but it's
access
not like
I
you
have.
come in. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Learn that year, spend a year doing it, and then yeah, you'll get the same results
yeah.
like I did.
I can sit behind a computer, write a prompt in let's say 3 minutes, 5 minutes, and I will get pretty good result.
Yeah,
But this is now. When I was starting with ChatGPT, it's not like this. I was sitting behind a computer 4 hours just to get some okay results.
yeah, and it took us basically 500 YouTube shorts to learn how to do them.
Yeah, the same thing. Yeah,
You got to record 500 videos and watch and track their performance, study because YouTube gives you like excellent data. I mean, it's like the analytics are awesome.
Mhm.
So you study 500 video analytics, and then yeah, you learn how to do videos. It's easy.
Previous week, 3 weeks ago, I had a client who said, "Okay, we have this student here in our team, and she will provide you with images. You don't need to work, so the price will be probably cheaper, right?" I said, "Okay, let's test it first. Send me what she set up, and we'll see what will happen." Uh, she got zero purchases, um, so I told her everything basically.
And then you start
my
over. You're
images,
like, oh,
my images, let's say, make all sales
yeah,
from them.
and now let me show you how it's done. Hold my
Yeah,
rakia. I'll show you how it's done.
yeah. Here you have analytics now. What's your thought on this? Should I keep doing these images, or she will handle it? Um, let's stay for a little bit like we have now. Can we? Yes, we can.
1 hour is up. 11 a.m., 5 p.m. your time. So it
5
was,
p.m.
it's been fun talking to you again, and we got to do this again sometimes.
Sure, sure.
Long
Yeah,
time no
here,
see.
here, here in Europe, it's almost dark. Almost, not yet.
Time to go.
So
Time to get some office stuff
to
done.
go, no time to go to sleep. Not yet.
Time to go to
um,
your computer and do some more analytics.
yeah. No, it's Friday and it's basically here. It's bank holidays. We have 2 days
Oh,
off,
okay. So
and it's weekend now. So I need to spend some time with kids also and my wife.
right. No.
Sure.
Enjoy
So
the
thank
weekend.
you. Yeah, thank you for having me. Um, and see you
Yeah,
soon.
we'll be in touch. Have a good one.
We'll be in
Bye,
touch for
everybody.
sure.
Thanks.